I know that I have been going for so long, and I have to, before I can even say anything, I have to just apologize to the people who really love me. But as long as y'all know that I love me too, then y'all will appreciate why great things take time. So with that said, hey y'all, this is Nurse Key. I am the CEO and curator of A Nurse Key Said podcast, and I am officially back and ready to pick up where I left off. If you are new here, then you don't know, and I'm gonna get you real acclimated. I am Nurse Key, an author, a poet, a mother, a nurse. All of 2023, I wanted y'all to know that I was everything but a hater and a whore, and while that still stands true, I'm just a girl from Cleveland who is deciding to make it happen. If you are not new here, thank you for rocking out with me, being patient with me, loving on me from a distance, loving on me up close. Thank you for all the messages, the comments, every time y'all reach out to me and tell me that y'all need me and y'all miss me. Y'all keep me going. This is episode 37. Episode 37. And I am so excited to be back, y'all. I have done a lot since I've been gone. I almost lost my life in a car accident. God willing, I'm still here. I'm blessed. I relocated to another city. Shout out to Charlotte, North Carolina. I love it there. Love the weather. Love the people. And before I tap into this episode about what I really came here to discuss, I want to talk about resilience and what it is to be resilient in a season of what you perceive as rejection. A lot of people ask me questions about, like, what was my journey? What was my process? How did I feel? Was I afraid? Was it hard? Relocating was one of the most important things in my journey that I could have ever did, because it took me out of my comfort zone and it made me really step out of who I thought I was to become who I am. As you all know, I am a mother, so I did that with my 6-year-old, just me and him. And I did it because I didn't only want to change the trajectory of my life, but I wanted to change his as well. And it's not easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. You start out with a plan, you go with an agenda, and at any point that plan can change. At any point there can be some alterations that have to be made. And I am creeping up on 6 months that I have relocated from my hometown, and I have had to make some adjustments. And it wasn't easy. Like, that season of having to adjust. Well, first of all, when I got there, I was very much at peace. I was at peace. Everything was running so smoothly. I felt like this was the best decision that I had ever made. And then, like, a couple of months in, that loneliness starts to hit me. That was like the first emotion that I felt, was that I didn't have what I'm so familiar with, like my family, my core family, like my mom, my dad, my siblings, my grandmother. I didn't have that. And so I think the first holiday that hit me was Thanksgiving. And even though it's like I got family down there, I still felt like I was missing something. Like, I was missing the heart of what I was used to. And so I was sad. Like, immediately I was sad. And then right after that, the next holiday was Christmas. And I had, my son is split between 2 households. So I had to send him away, to spend Christmas with his father. And I did that, and I still didn't have the core of my family. So I went through a small depression. I was very depressed. I could not pull myself out of it. I was very just sad, and I was just beating myself up. Like, then that's when the devil creep in, and you start to have those thoughts like, damn, did I make the right decision? Was this impulsive? Did I really think this out? Should I go back? Should I just stop right now? And what I want to tell you is that don't think that you're not going to have those moments, because you're going to have those moments. It's going to be tough. It's going to be rough. It's going to be hard. You're going to be questioning everything that you thought that you knew. But what you got to do is you got to stand firm in that. You have to stand firm in what it is that you did. You have to focus on your why. Like, why did you relocate? Did you do it because you wanted to just be able to say that you did it? Or did you really do it because you wanted a better life? Did you really do it because you wanted to get outside of your comfort zone and you wanted to really push yourself to new heights and really achieve new goals? Like, why did you do this? And I had to really check myself and tell myself, like, I'm not doing this for the aesthetic. I'm not doing this because I have, the means to do so and I want to just go blow it all in one. Like, that's not why I'm doing it. Like, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I think that those type of decisions should be made when you have the means to do so. Like, I couldn't have really successfully made that move until I was in a position to where it made sense. But beyond that, you have to remember your why. So to anybody who is considering relocating, I want you to know that the reason why you're not where you at is because you won't relocate. Like, you know that your city is holding you back. You know where you've been at for the past however old you are, years, is the reason why you haven't got to the place that you really are meant to be in, is because you won't put one foot in front of the other and put faith over fear. Like, your biggest downfall is going to be you being afraid to do something. I'm not saying do it if it don't make sense. Obviously, it has to make sense. But let it make sense to you and not nobody else. Because my people tried to talk me out of leaving. Like, they did not want me to leave. It was just beyond their comprehension. But I have a bigger vision for my life. Like, and I'm not even saying that Charlotte is my end all be all. I just know that it was somewhere that I wanted to go see. And I wanted to get the experience there. And while I am enjoying it, I really don't feel like I have been there long enough to really make that determination. But with the 6 months that I've been there, there's things that I like. There's things that I don't like. It's things that I wish I could have did a little bit differently. It's things that I'm so happy that I did. And like I said, you go with a plan. You start out with a solid plan, and then something happens, and you have to make that adjustment. But you can't be afraid to make adjustments. And that's why I wanted to talk to you all about being resilient, because that's exactly what resilience is. It's like, in the moments where you feel rejected and you feel like something is not for you, and you just bounce back, and you just come back, and you come back from everything that you thought was just not going to happen for you. That's exactly what you have to allow to happen in your life. So again, make the move. Go. Get away. Your family is hindering you. Your old friends is hindering you. That nigga is hindering you. Go. Leave. Goodbye. The answer to your successful life is somewhere in another state. And if you want to pack up and leave, I encourage you to do it. Because the reality is, you can always come home. Like, you can always come back here. There's always a place for you here. So, me personally, I'm never moving back to Cleveland. I'll visit. Y'all can have me for visitation, but that's temporary. It will never be a permanent thing for me. So, I love my city. It has contributed to who I am as a woman. But when you are big and when you have big things going on, it be time to expand. So, expand. Go. Okay, now that that's over. Woo! I was talking to somebody and I was telling them how, like, I was so tired of, like, the Venus versus Mars, like, women pinned against men and men get pinned against women. And what was said to me was that in order to kind of get away from that, you have to embrace it. Like, you gotta go through that. You have to address that. You have to really walk in that to really get through that and get past it. So, I just recently did an event in Philly. Shout out to all of my people in Philly. Pivotal moment in my career as a motivator, as an author, as a poet, as a podcaster. I met some really, really, really influential people. I was able to network, and it was just refreshing to be in a space with people who have a like-minded vision, have a like-minded goal, and I really, really, really took a lot, and I received a lot from this event. But I was talking to my guy from Philly. Shout out to Naeem. Wolf. Make sure y'all check him out. Big time author in the city. Great person, real stand-up man. My brother. We were talking, and when we were kind of getting the events together, and one of the things that I had posted on Instagram that I wanted to speak on there, but we never got around to it, was how hard it is for women with children to successfully date and have like relationships. And me being a mother with a 6-year-old, and I haven't been in a relationship with his father since he was 1.5. So every year after that was spent with me, in retrospect, dating, right? And it's hard. It's hard, especially when you are a woman of value, and you are a woman with morals, and you are a woman who has now really, really, really stepped into her self-worth, and you realize that you're not just dating for you, and you dating for this kid. So for me, I think the hardest part about dating me with the kid is because I'm so protective. Like, I am one of the most protective people over not only myself, but especially my child. And it's so much stuff that's going on in the world. And I just really think that we don't really take the time to get to know the people that we are in connection with. Like, most times, we don't accept people for who they are because we too busy trying to change them into what we want them to be. And even if you don't have a kid, you can't try to navigate through your relationship changing somebody into who you want them to be. You have to take them for face value. If they good people, they good people. If they not, then they not. And it's up to you on whether or not you're going to deviate away from that, or if you're going to step fully into that. But me as a mother, I need to know you. Like, I need to know who you are as a person. I need to know what your intentions are. I need to know who you are, not only in front of me, but when I don't have my eyes on you. Because that's going to be a big determining factor if I feel like you are safe enough for my child. Y'all know this is, I use my podcast as a place to speak about things that I only have experience on. So if you ever hear me speak about something, 10 times out of 10, I experienced it myself. So I can give you experiences from people that I've seen, and we can walk that path, but I like for y'all to walk my journey with me. So I have had instances where it was like, I really like this person, or I really love this person, and I want to kind of allow them to coexist with the person that I am solely responsible for, because this is the picture that's being painted. These are the intentions that we are setting out. Like, we're doing this, and this is very serious. And if we're going to be serious about this, then why can't we be serious about this? And so you merge, and you allow the two worlds to exist. And then something happens, and now you have to dissipate. I realized that I can control how a breakup is going to affect me. Like, I can determine if I'm going to allow this man and his antics to affect my whole day, or if I'm going to even allow it to alter me as a person. But I can't control how it's going to affect my child. The only thing that I can control is to not even allow it to get to a place to where my child can even be affected. So dating for me is hard because I'm a package deal. I don't come alone. I come with a child. And a lot of men will come with a whole bunch of kids and a whole bunch of baby mama drama and a whole bunch of baggage and a whole bunch of bullshit, but they draw the line at you having a baby daddy. Like, they be so convinced that you gonna come with the bullshit because they come with the bullshit. But again, I can't speak for other women that may still be ducking off and fucking her baby daddy and want her family back, or her baby daddy crazy as fuck and he don't want nobody around. I don't have those type of problems. Like, I have really, really, really worked diligently and worked really hard to assist my son's father in our co-parenting relationship. Like, I respect him. He respects me. I respect his girlfriend. He's going to respect my man. Like, I don't come with that type of baggage. So a lot of times men come in with that unspoken, like, I don't want to call it a competition, but almost so. Like, they just all of a sudden, as soon as they in the presence of another man, they gotta get big. Like, I don't wanna deal with that either. And it's just unconscious. It's just something that happens. But also, again, just back to my point, I don't think that as a woman, every man that you like is worthy enough to be around your kid. Because you may just be attracted to him. You may just like him. But attraction is totally different from connection. Attraction is totally different from intention. Like, what intentions, if a man doesn't have, if I'm dating a man, right? I'm dating a man, he got all these red flags and I'm turning them green. I'm doing all of this stuff to just fit him into this image that I want him to be with, right? And he doesn't have good intentions for me. Why on God's green earth would you think that he have good intentions for your child? If he can't lead you, how he gonna lead your child? If he can't love you, how he gonna love your child? If he don't respect you, how he gonna respect your child? And I think that the thing that I personally, and I'm not gonna lie, that I personally like kind of be like turn my nose up against is the fact that a lot of women are so careless in that area. Like, stop having all these niggas around your kids. Stop it. Stop it. Like, I'm not saying that you have to shelter your kids from that part of your life, but make sure it makes sense. Like, make sure that this man is all about you. Make sure that he is a man of integrity, that he can lead you, that he can protect you, that he can, because in retrospect, he would be, first of all, make sure that he like kids. A lot of these niggas don't even be liking kids. A lot of these men be piss poor fathers to their own kid, and you be thinking that he about to come be super dad to your kid. No. You have to be mindful about who you in a relationship with. And it can't be for play. Like, this can't be your sneaky link, and because you want him to come lay up in your shit, he gets to be around your kid. Y'all got to start protecting these babies. And they watching everything, they sponges. I think the biggest thing for me is that, like, I feel like the best service that I can be to my child, like, in a way for him to, like, properly love women is to see, first of all, it's for me to love him, right? But to also see me loved correctly. Like, to first of all, not stay in situations that warrant disrespect, and just pain and just horrible stuff. Like, even if I go on to have more children and I have another son or I have a daughter, like, I need them to see their mother loves correctly, and I need them to see their father loves correctly. Like, I am super, like, when my son was younger, I was young, and his father was young, and we would argue, we would do all of these things in front of him, and I hated that. I hated that because I never wanted him to internalize that. I never wanted him to see. Now, this is not to say that things has to be perfect. That's not what I'm saying, but it's just certain things I don't think that kids should see, and I think that it's certain things that kids should see. And one of the things is seeing their parents loved properly, because we are their first reference. Like, when my daughter goes on to have her own self-worth, a lot of it will stem from what she's seen me go through. Like, did my mother deal with this? Did my mother tolerate that? How did my mother feel about herself? What can I learn from my mother? I don't want my kids to be subjected to a man who is unable and unwilling to just be decent. Because my son is 6, so at this age, it ain't like he's 15 or 16 and he's choosing to go be around people. No. Anybody that is in his life, crosses his path, and whatever, that is solely up to me and who I placed in his life. And so I have to protect that. Like, I have to protect that. And I can love you to death. I can love you. I can be so delusional and say, this is my husband. I'm going to marry him. This is my man. But when I really sit down and I be real with myself and I really just step into the reality, are you my husband? Like, are you equipped to be a father figure to this said child? Like, again, can you lead us in the right direction? Is this a safe space? What are your parenting styles? Like, how do you plan to discipline? How do you plan to educate? What is your love language with your children? How do you feel about stepping into a role to be that figure to a child that you didn't give birth to? Because that's a lot of people don't want that responsibility. Like, people want to be in relationships. They want to do all the cute shit. They want the rose petals. They want this. They want that. They want the gifts. They want all of this superficial shit. But when it comes to responsibility, do you really want that? Like, I think right now, right now, my biggest thing is I feel like I don't want anybody disciplining my son. And I know it sounds crazy, but like I haven't really met anybody who I trust with him in that way. Like, I be finding myself kind of like low key flipping out on his father, like, hey, don't speak to him like that. And I know that that's wrong. So before y'all eat me up in these comments and do all of this shit that's gonna get y'all blocked, I don't want y'all I want y'all to enjoy this space. I'm being accountable, and I'm telling y'all that I know that this is not right, but I'm telling y'all my flaw. My flaw is that I am so on him like a mama bear, like to have a man come in and to love a child is to be willing to discipline them when they wrong. I know that today I would be totally against that. Like, no, don't talk to him like that. No, don't do that. We ain't doing that. Like, and so that's the place that I have to get to. But that's also me just not being in connection with men who I trust in that way. Like, you have to trust who you with. You have to trust that they will never do anything to hurt your child. But it's not just you coming up with that in your mind. They have to show you. They have to be willing to show you. We don't sit around and allow anybody to show us anything. They could show us nothing. And if we just believe that they can do it, I want this to be from you, so I'm just going to come up with this in my mind. We just let people slide. Like, no. People have to show you. People have to show up and show you what they're capable of doing. And when they don't do that, it's for one or two reasons. Because they don't want to, and because they simply cannot. And if you already dealing with a man who has shown you that he can't do this or he doesn't want to do this, why would you invite him into a space that's so delicate, like a space with your children? Being single with a kid and trying to date is hard because, first of all, I am a working mother too, so I don't always have time. And that be another thing, like the problem that I have with the men that I have found myself dating, I won't generalize this and say all men, but with the men that I have dated is that they don't respect my time. Like, I don't have time. Like, I go to work, I'm in school, my kid is in school, me and my baby father, we don't live in the same, we don't live in the same city, but beyond that, I left everything that I knew. My entire village is here in Ohio. I live in Charlotte. So I don't have a space where I can just be like, oh yeah, I want to go on this date. Can I drop him off? I don't have that. So if I make time for you, respect my time. I hate for somebody to I hate when people run that I was busy play. I don't like that. And I'm going to tell you why, because you're not the only person that's busy. I'm busy too. But if I make time for you, respect my time. Especially because I really don't have time. I don't. But I make time because I'm interested. I make time because I'm a little invested. You know what I'm saying? So if I invest my time into you, don't, and then a lot of people can't can't really deal with that. Like, imagine dating a woman with kids and then dating a woman who don't have kids. You know what I'm saying? It's just the easier thing to do. Like, she can get up and go. She doesn't have to do all this planning and moving around and rearranging. Whereas me, you want to take, like for instance, Valentine's Day is coming up. You need to tell me that, like, now, so I can get this planned out and I can have everything in order. Otherwise, I'm not going. My life is based around my son's schedule. And I'm not saying that I love it. I love having a son. I love being a mother. But I think that the man that wants to seriously date me, you have to understand that. You have to understand that I'm not going to always be available to you. Because I have to be 100% present in other areas of my life. But if you want to exist in that world, then you have to show me that you have to show me that you're going to be there. Like, I have learned how to date, like men, do whatever it is that I want to do without my son being involved. It's to the point where if I'm on, like, FaceTime with somebody, my son, I don't even want him around because he's at the age where he's very inquisitive right now. So he's asking constant questions. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Da-da-da-da. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, that's the man. I know you ain't got no man. Who is that? Is that my cousin? Is that my uncle? Is that, like, all of that? So, yeah, shade, the fucking shade. I know you ain't. I know he ain't for you. That ain't your boyfriend. So who the fuck is that? Right, exactly. So, and when it comes to, like, having somebody around him, man, you got to be a hell of a man. I'm talking about I have to know. Because once I allow that child in your space, it's like no turning back. Because he's so pure, and he's so innocent, he just going to attach himself to somebody that he like. And imagine you showing him that you love his mother. He really going to attach himself to you. But beyond showing me that you love me, imagine you showing him that you love him. Like, realistically, his dad is not in the house. He don't have that male figure in the house. So when there's a lack there, you're going to latch on to it. That's not just limited to women. Children do that too. There's an absence in his life. Not saying that his father is an absent father, but he's not there every day. He doesn't see him every day. He's not speaking to him every day. So imagine you being in his world every day. And this is not to say that you're trying to replace the father of the said woman that you're dating. That's it. Everybody knows who that baby's father is. But you're going to come in and you're going to be of some father figure. And they're going to latch on to you. So if you don't have no desire to really fully step into that role, don't lead that woman on. Because she don't come by herself. She don't come by herself. I had stepfathers growing up. I loved my stepfathers. I did. I had two. Great people. Took care of us, everything. Loved them to death, still to this day. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't really, really want that responsibility, then y'all got to stop pursuing these women with these kids. Because aside from her getting a day off and having a babysitter and being a fun time and all of that, eventually, if it gets to that point, she going to want you to commit to her. And in committing to her, you got to commit to the kid. And I don't let niggas play with me. Because everybody know the weight of my heart is through my child. As soon as I even see you trying to play with me, like use him as a means to get close to me, I'm going to be all the way done with you. Because it's also manipulation that go into that. Like, if you have no intentions on being the man that she needs you to be, being the man that you say that you are, leave her alone. Leave her alone. And with that said, I'm going to wrap this up only because what I just said is going to lead into my next episode. So if you like what you hear, I hope you come back. If not, that's cool too. We can't win them all. But this is Nurse Key, and I'll see you guys later.